Learning how to be criticized. I think that's very important in confrontation. Saying what you want to say and what you need to say, despite what people think. We inspire a lot of independent thinkers. We want people to have a voice and through their artwork. I think the challenging thing is finding out your voice and what is that saying. I haven't been discouraged to say anything that I wanted to say here, and I think that's been very positive. People have told me bad things about my work, good things about my work, and I found that very valuable, and it taught me to take criticism and not feel a personal attachment to it. And I think as artists, you need that separator, that emotional separator. And I think through the BFA, the constant critiques and the constant reviews, you sort of develop that callus.
We have critique classes, they're called all media critiques, and this is like what makes up the most of our coursework. And so we'll be shoved together with, sculpture and print and performance and whatever else. And so we're viewing all of the work together. And so we don't get kind of stuck in one dialogue. So I do print media sometimes, and say you're in a class with only print artists, you're gonna have a really narrow viewpoint of what print does on the larger, in the larger art conversation. And so it's kind of nice to have someone from performance going, God, it's really flat on a wall, and you're like, oh yeah, it is kind of doing that. You wouldn't get that from like other printmakers. And so it's nice to have those sorts of conversations.
Well, I think CAB is probably the biggest factor for me as a digital painter who works a lot of hours and puts a lot of hours into their work. You need that 24-hour access facility to just like focus and think and to be in this zone. And I think for all artists, there's like this flow that develops after 2 or 3 hours of just messing around.
So our MFA studios are really large. That part's nice. They're kind of communal. We have like demi walls, so it's a little cubicle-like, but like big cubicles. I've set mine up so that like I have a working area and then enough of a space to kind of set work up and view it. And then we also have critique rooms. We have a lot of space, and so that part is kind of nice. So the faculty as resources. I mean, this project I did where I printed out multiple layers of posters and I put them on a fence. It took me forever to come to the conclusion of putting them on a fence, and that was, I just didn't know. And just talking, being in the BFA, you're not saying you have a better access to faculty, but you see the faculty a lot more and you can talk to them a lot more. Just getting advice from multiple professors telling me, think about the materials, think about the meaning behind the material and how it has to matter. It has to mean something. Kelly Hendrickson kind of pushed me to thinking about a fence. And so I thought that was really helpful. She's her input was very helpful in that matter. And also my major professor, Carrie, he gave me really good advice, telling me to sometimes you gotta just like hold back sometimes. You don't have to like overexert yourself to make something meaningful. Sometimes I try to overcompensate by the amount of work and sort of ignoring the individual pieces. So I think having actual like professional artists as your professors in the field you're trying to get into, as like guides, telling you like, hey, maybe try this, hey, maybe try that, because they've lived a full life of being an artist. You can't put a price on that. In the first year, you get random committees. So it's kind of a bunch of faculty that don't normally work together, and they all come in your studio and they ask you a million questions, and you either sink or you swim. And then, so the second and third year are a little more focused. You've chosen your faculty, you know who you're working with, they know you a little bit, and I love my committee. I really think I chose well. I don't know if I planned it like that, but they all worked well together. And they're kind of helping me really hone the kind of work that I
want to make coming out of this program. And so I think being able to choose your faculty that you're working with is really nice, because it's a DIY program. You can like really figure out what you want to do and then who can help you do that.
Always look at better artists. I mean, the best thing about the BFA is that you're surrounded by people who take art very seriously and are trying to be better artists, and just for like making art because they really love doing it, and that is very infectious. I mean, if you're the best artist in your friend group, you have to change your friend group. That's the only way you're going to get better. It's invaluable. Art school is not only important because of the prompts you learn, but you can find art syllabus online, but it's the people.
The nice thing about FSU, or at least that I've found, is that it's really flexible. You can really kind of make it what you want. You can take whatever classes, like within the art department, you can take whatever classes you want. Don't assume people are going to tell you what to do. You tell them what you want, and then you guys can work together and figure out how to make that happen.